Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. We're out here in Southwest Ohio on Memorial Day, and there is food and plants. We'll say plants, not food yet. Planted everywhere in our backyard. Across here, you see the brush pile here, but potatoes, green stalks with peas in it. We got garlic and sweet potatoes, peppers and tomatoes over there in the containers. So much stuff planted everywhere. We planted thousands of seeds. There's 39 tomato plants. Let's see, 25 peppers, all kinds of stuff, just everywhere. So much stuff. But as with anything, and then everybody who gardens understands this, it's not always a success, is it? As much as we all want to believe that we're going to plant thousands of seeds for us, thousands of seeds, you know, so much stuff. And everything we're going to plant is going to be perfect and golden, and it's going to grow immediately, and all the seeds are going to germinate, and nothing's going to happen, and we're going to have all this food in our backyard. It's going to be wonderful, right? It's a nice thought. It's a great thought that all these beans on these teepees are going to just grow straight up and be full, and all this corn is going to produce massive amounts of corn, and this popcorn is going right here. It's going to produce a bunch of popcorn for us, and these other beans down here at the bottom are going to be a bunch of beautiful shell beans. These are all great thoughts, but sometimes thoughts don't necessarily come to fruition, do they? And like, it would be wonderful if something didn't come along and eat all of our beans as they sprouted out of the ground, right? I mean, it'd been great. Not everything's a success, is it? I mean, it's okay, by the way, too. If you're going through that, well, here to tell you, then it's okay. Not everything's going to do exactly what you want to do. It's not going to be super successful all the time. And I'm here to tell you, everybody deals with that. So if you're dealing with that, it's okay. It'll be fine. Just keep plugging along. We're going to talk about some wins and some woes in our early season garden, okay? For me right now, this corn is pretty much a win overall. It looks like it's doing really well. However, did have to plant this little small one and then replant some seeds because a rabbit came through here and got 2 of the stalks. It got part of this one too, but he survived and he's still growing. So this, a bit of a woe. We replanted some seeds here, but the rest of it's doing pretty stinking good. That rabbit is, however, gone now. I didn't kill it, okay? I want to let you know I was very nice to this rabbit, had mercy on him, and did not kill it. It was like a little, maybe 5-6 week old rabbit. It was a young one, and we got it trapped. In a hillbilly redneck way, but we got it trapped, and I relocated into a field a couple miles from here. So he's not dead, okay? at least not by my hands. So now you've seen the beans over there, and now these beans over here. Some of them are doing that and had to, right? Something's just come right along and eating everything off the top of the sprouts. Now some of the others are doing okay. You see, some of them are doing okay, and some of them are not. That looks kind of like grasshopper damage almost. I'm not sure. I was thinking something else, but maybe grasshoppers. Either way, you see, things aren't always doing great, are they? It's really been our #1 issue this year is the beans. Just something eating them. Typically, out of the in-ground portion, it's like what we believe like roly-poly bugs or pill bugs, whatever they are. Just little bitty annoying bugs that are in damp, cool soil. They just come up and it's like almost like an invisible eating almost, because they're just gone sometimes, and that's a 50-foot row of beans that's pretty much gone, being honest with you, okay? It's the whole way down through there is pretty much decimated. We're gonna have to go through replant. Those were North Carolina long greasy beans. We bought some Mountaineer half runner beans to put in here because they go a little faster and they're not as expensive. So we're gonna replant that here once we get those seeds in. These beans are looking a little better, and the zucchinis are doing okay. This one, I mean, look, we planted these from seed, and what happened here, right? But this one looks all right. This one's kind of weird. This one looks okay. It's got a little oddness to it. Some of them are okay, and some of them are not. We gotta thin one of these here. Figure that out later. This is really the point of the video. Again, is let you know it's okay. Some things do good and some things don't, and it's totally all right. Tomatoes are looking wonderful though. They've just done so great. Wonderful tomatoes. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's because Angela Kay does such a great job starting the tomatoes. She does such a wonderful job with them. Look at how awesome they look. Everything's doing so well. Angela really does go through a lot of pains starting these tomatoes and making sure they're really healthy, and the peppers as well. Making sure they're super healthy and will go into the ground really strong, and again, wonderful job. And sometimes the cucumbers just don't do so hot, do they? Just getting eaten so much. I think this guy might survive, this one might survive, this one probably not so much, huh? We planted 10 cucumber plants, not the seeds, just plants. And 3 of them might survive. 3 of them might survive. It's been tough. Decimated beans again, just ridiculous. Some of these might survive. So crazy, right? That's the frustrating thing. Is you garden maybe to save money here and there. I'm not sure if you're really gonna save money on anything these days, no matter what you're doing. That's not the goal of people who are selling us stuff, right? And so it's hard to necessarily save money, but you're trying to control what you're intaking, more or less. And the pest pressure has been unbelievable. It can be very frustrating, but you just gotta keep plugging along. Jacob's cattle beans. These are shelling beans. They've been decimated pretty good. Now they might survive. They haven't taken a full-on beating yet, but you see this one's rough. But these have been just torn up. I don't know. Look at that one, just nubbed off. Another one just nubbed off. Now we organic garden, so we're not using 7 or things like that on them. Now we will take some diatomaceous or some DE and dust them, right? And it works really good. It seems to work really good, at least, until like you have to water or it rains. We had a lot of good hard rain yesterday, so it has to stay on there. It does work as long as it can stay on there. We're going to go through it later and kind of dust everything with some DE, because got a lot of rain on the ground, so the soil is really moist. It should stay wet for a while. So I'm gonna dust everything with DE here in a little bit, and hopefully keep things at bay for a little while. These are more Jacob's cattle. These are tiger's eye shelling beans. They're just poking through the ground, so if I can get them dusted, maybe we're gonna be okay on them. Shelling beans are a big part of what we're doing this year, major part of what we're doing actually, and so kind of really focused on making sure that we can get plenty of those shell beans. Over here is nothing but success for the most part, I think. Potatoes are big and strong early. They withstood the wind pretty good yesterday. These Tom Thumb peas and these green stalks are doing wonderful, starting to blossom, so they're looking great. Garlic is looking outstanding. Sweet potatoes are just now getting started. These tomato plants, strong tomato plants in these containers. We only planted 39 tomato plants. We got 10 in containers and 29 in the garden. Obviously hoping for a huge success, right? All these peas, these are Lillian's caseload shelling peas. They're looking wonderful. Look at that, just loaded here. Now, not a full success because we didn't get the germination we had hoped for and everything, but we do have plants growing, so that's a big deal. Raspberries that we pulled out of the ground last year to redo the spot and put them in a grow bag to save the berries themselves. They're looking all right. They're doing good. For the most part, things are doing really good, really good. The raspberries there are doing great. Blackberries are doing great. Onions are doing pretty good. It's just, for the most part, things are doing really good. And so we're happy about it, because it's hard to do, even for the most part sometimes. So, feeling really great. These melons, on the other hand, we got 4 honeydew plants over here. They're looking okay. Of course, they're a hybrid, but you do see where there's some eating. That watermelon's not so hot. That watermelon's not so hot. These have been ate on quite a bit. This goes that way sometimes, right? Just goes that way. This full row, this is about a 12-foot row, and I see maybe 6-7 seeds that germinated of these Dixie speckled butter peas. If something we hadn't grown there before, the seeds were a little old, maybe. That's possible. So I don't know. We're probably going to wind up digging that whole line up and putting some green beans over there. just to keep trying, because that's such a mess. We need to kind of do some things trying to figure out how to get more green beans, because that's very important. Hadn't done this spot yet, and I just saw a rabbit. I just saw a rabbit go behind this garlic. I think it might have been eating beet sprouts. Let's find out. I do see some beet sprouts. I don't see any that have been eaten so far. Maybe it wasn't a rabbit, but I swear it looked like one. The beets hadn't done wonderful necessarily, so I have to work on that. I may have to replant some of them. I'm not sure. It's not common for us to not have good beets. We love pickled beets. Plant like nearly 200 seeds, honestly. It's pretty close. Maybe 180. Don't count, obviously, but like, so we plant a lot. So we normally get a lot. I haven't seen enough germination yet. We may need to redo those here. We'll have to give them a little bit of time. Also, to make sure that's not a rabbit. I don't see one. Also, I don't know, unless it's really small. I don't see one. But we gotta make sure we don't have a rabbit running here trying to eat everything, right? But overall, everything's doing really good. Overall, everything's doing good. Now, like this green stalk here, did pretty good to start with. And now the arugula has bolted. The kale's still okay, but we may get it out of there. Spinach is doing good. This kale has been starting to get eat on. The broccoli rabe did okay, but then it flowered really fast, bolted really fast. It's part of the thing with spring, like early cool season stuff. It happens that way really quickly. It can go from perfect to going to seed just like that. And these carrots are doing wonderful. This one here, and these over here, looking really good. Angela's done a great job thinning the carrots and trying to keep dirt up around them. She's doing a wonderful job taking care of these carrots up here in these beds. So good. And as you can see, there's so much stuff here. I'm trying not to show you everything too much and too long of a video, but hey, there's some wins and woes all the time in the garden. All the time, always wins and woes. Don't get discouraged, just keep trying, keep doing your best, right? So thank you guys so much for watching, I appreciate it. My name is Jason, this is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.